FM radio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I'm sure Dr. Smith Hart. No, that's not you. Your name, ma'am?
Tiffany Samuel.
Okay.
So I'm granddaughter of Grandma Mary.
Our grandma, okay.
My name is Odessa Whitlock. I'm the youngest granddaughter.
Okay. Yeah. And Grandma Marie, right?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
All right. So, Dr. Hodge, give us some context, please, some background information. I see the book on the table, but provide us with some background, please.
Okay, so it's a small world.
Yes.
But first of all, let me just say happy birthday to my mother's first grandchild. Theon, yes, his birthday is today. So, and we're actually going to be joining them in a while for lunch.
Okay.
So I was asked to do some research on this young lady's genealogy. That's one of my interests. And she is 90 years old.
Grandma Marie's 90 years old?
Yes, and she was publishing this book.
90 years old?
Yes, and she was about to embark on this tour embark on this legacy tour to Anguilla.
Yes.
Because she was actually born in Anguilla and she went to Antigua as a young child. And so she will tell you that story. But of course, she was born in Anguilla of Anguillan parents. So even though she has lived in Antigua most of her life, she is Anguillan to the bone. And so her book that she has written talks about her upbringing and the lessons that she learned and those that she instilled in her students, because she was a teacher for about 40 years, I think. And so she is here with her granddaughters, who are a big part of this legacy tour, because the cover of the book is actually painted by Gabby here.
The youngest granddaughter?
Yes, the youngest granddaughter,
She's youngest by 1 minute, because she's a twin. She's part of a twin. And she told me she's just 1 minute younger than the other one. So technically she's, she got company as being the youngest. And so,
nice painting.
Oh, thank you.
yes, and so so they are here with her and supporting her, and she's been doing all sorts of Anguillan things, like going to visit the agricultural farm up at Country Bottom. They look at the coal keel up there that my son-in-law Charwin is doing, and then she went to visit his poultry farm, and she saw some of the family pigs that they have, and she got coconuts and sea grapes. And she hasn't found Pomceres, but that's another story she's going to tell you about the Pomceres. Yeah, so she's going to tell you all about that. So my job is really, we used the word orders this morning. I was ordered to do this by the boss lady who is her mother.
That's a little boss.
And so I'm going along, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's being done. So she wants to see how the Johnny cakes are being done. So she's gone to TJ's Cafe, of course. And today she's going to Palm Grove.
To see all the fried cakes.
Yeah. And so and she's going to meet my mother there, and Theon. And then there's a cooking lesson, which is naturally a smaller gathering, restricted gathering, because. And then there's a book launch on Friday coming up. And there is Thursday.
Thursday coming.
The book launch is Friday.
The book launch is Friday, I'm correct. And there's a visit to the library on Thursday. And at that time, I'm going to try to see if we can get it out there, so that people who want to meet this wonderful lady can meet her. She has an Anguillan family as well. But she's from Anguilla, so she has an Anguillan family.
Anguillan, okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think that's some background there. We can work with that. So let me join the lady herself now, my Grandma Marie. Again, welcome to Klass FM. So let's speak a bit about your growing up in Anguilla. Who are your family members here? Give me your story.
My father's father was Anguillan.
Yes.
He migrated to Antigua.
Yes.
Made a family there.
In Antigua.
Then he died,
Yes.
and some of the children came back. to Anguilla.
Son came back?
Yeah, my father was one.
Okay.
And my mother is from North Hill. She's a Richardson,
Okay.
related to the Hodge, the Guns.
Um,
To me, everybody in Anguilla.
yeah, you want an Anguilla.
Because once an Anguillan came to Antigua,
Yes.
she knew the parents. She might not have known the child, who you belong to, and she could trace everything.
Where you from?
Yeah.
And
Back
the
in those
Anguillan
days,
Sea.
lots of Anguillans went over to Antigua back in
Yes.
those days because my great grandfather he died there. He from where we are right here. He lived here. He migrated to Antigua and I think he lived in an area called Sweets in Antigua.
Sweets?
I'm from Sweets.
Who is that? Who is that?
Peter James Connor. Peter James Connor.
Not in Sweets.
He lived in Sweets.
No, because I grew up in
He
Sweets.
lived in Sweets.
I grew up
Back
in
the day?
Sweets.
Alright, okay. So Peter Connor was my great grandfather. He lived in Antigua. He died in Antigua. He buried here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to find out exactly where he was.
Yeah, lots of Antigua, lots of Angolans living in Antigua back in
Yes,
those
we
days.
have.
But you haven't called the name that you
Close family member, yeah.
that you went to Antigua with.
So your father was
You said Buxton Island things. I haven't heard you say Fleming yet.
Yeah, Fleming as well. Okay, so
She's Fleming. She's
You're
born
Fleming.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The Flemings, all right. Okay, so have you made a trace of bringing closer to any family member, particular families, Tim? In the genealogy, yeah.
Well, she's related to from those who have met and who she's established the connection with. But she knows the connection anyhow.
Dulcie.
Dulcie, Stanley Reed's mother-in-law, right? I think it's mother-in-law. So those Richardson. So she would have been a Connor or Richardson, right? It's
Yes.
Connor.
And the
And
Connors,
then married
the
Richardson.
My mother's only informing me that my grandfather, Peter James, he stayed with a lady called Miss Edwards in Sweets. Miss Edwards in Sweets. That's where he stayed. Miss Edwards in Sweets.
I have to know which Edwards.
Yeah.
Because we had an Edwards, they used to call it Patriarch.
Okay.
And then we had another set of Edwards.
Okay, all right. We'll work on that. I'll work on that up here because I think I'm getting something now because I would want to find connections in that area in Sweets for sure at some point. Yeah. So you were saying, tell me?
Yeah. So she's also done while we were here. So she went to visit a Fleming yesterday, Felix Fleming and Mona, and look at their garden and all the stuff that they grow there, and talk about connections and so forth. Fleming, Hammer is a name. It's a kind of strange name in Angola because there are Flemings all over Angola. There are not many Flemings, but there are Flemings all over Angola, every area.
England, West End.
West End, where she's from West End. That Fleming came from West End.
West End.
And then she's also related to the people in North Hill.
Okay.
So she has a sister. Where's the house in North Hill? She has a sister who has a house here in North Hill.
Yeah.
And
Alvin Gums, you know Alvin?
Ivan Gums.
He lives in Canada.
he lives in Canada.
They come back every winter.
That's your brother?
That's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister, Connie.
Okay.
Connie.
Connie.
Yeah. And there's Jerry, who would be
The police.
Jerry, the former
Yeah.
policeman here.
Yes, Jerry. No.
Yeah.
He's Jerry's brother.
He's
my
Jerry's
sister is
brother.
married too.
Yes.
And this would be Sharon and TJ's uncle as well. So yeah, she knows the connection. So there's lots of connections.
Yes. She is well interwoven into this. She's connected in Angola big time. Okay. All right. Good.
You see, in the early days,
Yes.
when the Anguillans used to come back, the flights used to come in very late, so there was no connection. So my house was a stopover house. So everybody who came in to Antigua,
Yes.
at one time, Frankie brought 3 other persons with him.
Frankie?
Yes, Frankie Gums. So if you know that person,
Yeah,
he
Frankie
died now. That's my cousin.
Okay.
So when he got to the airport, he told them, "Don't worry,
He can call.
I have a cousin,
Call Marie.
and she'll put us up."
Yeah.
I put them up, and next morning gave them a cup of tea or coffee,
Yes.
took them to the airport,
Yes.
and that was that.
Anguillan hospitality. Okay. So you lived there for all these years. From what year? You recall the year?
I
you
left
moved to
here
Antigua?
when I was 3.5.
3.5 years. It's a long time ago.
And the first time I came back was 1960.
And then the 60s. You back in the 60s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I came back in 85. And since then I've been coming on and off.
Off and off
Yeah.
to Angola, the land of your birth. Okay. So the book now, this is your first book, I take it, your first book?
Yes.
What inspired this book? Tell me a bit about the book. I mean, it looks like recipes. I'm seeing some in there too. And what inspired the book? Let's talk about the story behind the book now. What did you
Well, to be honest,
Yeah.
it was not my idea.
Okay.
This granddaughter
Yes.
decided I'm going to write a book.
Yes.
And so I tell all my friends,
Yeah.
and they point, if you don't write that book, I'm going to do it.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so then Megan, another daughter, she decided we must write a book.
Okay.
And so they started collecting facts and facts and facts.
Yeah. So Megan, so she hasn't told you about the Antigua side now. So she's Samuel. So she married Samuel, who was Charles Samuel, was a teacher. She was a teacher for 40 years. He was a teacher as well. And then he was a politician, a minister of government and so forth. So
Samuel. Yeah.
Charles Samuel. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah.
there's all those connections.
With the APL, Samuel, back in the
Every time, PLM.
PLM. Yeah. George Walters.
Walter's Wallet.
Yeah.
Okay, back in those days. All right. Okay. So so you are well into the Antigua society. So the book came as a result of so let's hear from this lady before we get back to Grandma here. So tell me a bit about the book. She said you told her to write a book. So what led you to really to consider a book writing to make the book? What led you down that path?
I think Grandma has always been a woman. The book is called Leading Loving Legacy. And obviously after she would have passed on, we want to have something that remains.
Yes.
We kind of let all this knowledge that she has die with her.
No.
So there needs to be something tangible that we all have to remember her by.
Yes.
And I think us as well being here in Anguilla is another testament to that, because we are also here meeting family with her.
Yes.
So we have our own knowledge of our family as well that we can also continue to pass on, which is good.
They grew up with me.
Yeah. We were raised by Grandma Mary.
That means you have some good old values and sympathy.
Yeah.
You have the good stuff. Yeah.
So no,
I
she's
said 10 years is my great life.
Yeah. That's a good way to grow up, your grandmother.
And how many of yours?
all of mine.
You are grounded.
Yeah.
So the book, I get the concept of the book, a bit about that, how you went about that, these recipes and other things I'm
Yeah.
saying too.
So it kind of is a journey through her life. So it starts, obviously with her in Anguilla.
Yes.
And then she moved to Antigua, and kind of the recipes that came through that. So I think at every stage of her
I
life.
have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Introduction.
When I left Anguilla,
Yeah.
I took some dom seeds that you
Pomseret.
call pomseret seeds with me.
Yes.
I don't know if I planted them, I don't know what. But when my mother saw me always in the soil, she brought up a story.
Yeah.
And I have a joke on myself.
Yes, that's it.
I planted vines today,
Yes.
and I went to reap them tomorrow.
Just eager. Too eager.
No, I didn't know. I just didn't know. So from that, I learned something.
But then it's so funny, even while we've been here in Anguilla, everywhere we go, she's collecting seeds.
Everywhere.
So we ate a few sea grapes. She said, "Oh, give me the seeds. I'm going to take them home and plant them." So she has a whole bag that she's planning to take back to Antigua to plant. So we'll have some Anguillan trees when we go back.
Well, I'm into agriculture.
Yes.
I do my own gardening.
Oh, yes.
I do my own forking.
Yes. So,
And-
you are 90 years old, but you don't look that way at all here. I mean, 90 years, I know that 90 years what it looks like, and you are very energetic, you're spirited, you look fresh, I mean.
And she drives as well. Yeah.
Drive at 90?
Faster than me.
Right.
You drive a car at 90?
Yeah.
No, not at night.
She
I
doesn't
don't
drive at night.
night.
She'll
I
call
don't
me
drive
or
at
my
night.
uncle to drive her at night. But in the day,
Yes.
people tell me, "I just saw your grandma zooming down the road. Where's she going?"
You serious?
Yes.
So Grandma Marie drive a car still?
Yes. She does her own
Yes.
deliveries. Yes.
You
Yes.
serious?
Yes. You need to get her a driver, please. Someone come in. I'm like nervous. She's 90.
You don't bother
Just
them.
relax.
I
Relax.
And the
Yes.
road rage.
am a baker. I have A bakery.
You have a bakery as well?
Yeah.
My God, yeah, wow, okay, this is good.
I do oils, I do soaps.
Yeah, okay.
And my last project was pottery.
Pottery.
Which I haven't
You use
finished
clay?
yet.
Clay or ceramics? So you use
Clay.
Clay, that's good. Oh, clay pottery.
I learned
okay.
Spanish, although I can't speak one word of Spanish.
Okay.
I went to play the steel band.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
So anything that interests me.
I think it's the hard work that keep you going. The hard work. you do
yes,
with
I
the
go
dog is,
after it.
You work hard, and it keeps your body good. It keeps your body good. 19 is still going strong and very strong indeed. And now even to write a book, I mean, a book is not an easy thing. I mean, he know about writing books, and book is a lot of work. A lot of work, eh?
Took a long time.
I have been trying to get my mother to write her book for the
A lot of
last
work.
10 years.
Yes, yes.
And it hasn't happened. So we're going to take an example out of this one.
Yes, ma'am. 90 she
How
have
to
a
get
book.
it
Yeah,
done,
but you-
and we can get it done.
But you people have to help her.
Yes,
If
yes,
my
yes.
children didn't help me, it would not have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing though. But you're very active, and we have the book now. So again, so the book is a mix of her life stories. Her life stories. All the cooking I saw, Dokana, that's a popular thing in Angola. I mean, it's an antique dish, no, but it's popular in Angola too. Dokana, with saltfish, and Dokana is a big thing. And I saw that I saw Grandma Mirie'S Dokana recipes in there as well.
We don't call it Dokana though.
Huh?
We don't call it Dokana.
Potato dumpling.
We call it
Dumpling.
potato. We don't call it dumpling. We call it
You call it dumpling?
I'm trying to remember what we call
I
it.
call it dumpling in Angola. I know.
Conky.
Conky,
Conky.
same
But
thing.
Conky is the corn one.
But
But the potato one, okay, you said dumpling. I don't think we ever call it dumpling. But
None of you?
I don't think we
Okay,
call
okay.
it
I don't know.
dumpling. But funny enough, they don't call as close to St. Martin's, Angola. They don't. When I told the people in St. Martin about Conky, they don't know what I'm talking about.
No? Corn dumpling, conky dumplings?
Corn dumpling, yeah.
We know those things. From the grind corn, you make the conky dumplings, back in the days. It's still very popular here in Angola, grind
Yes,
corn.
yes.
I want a lot of recipes to take back.
You want to take it back? Okay, well,
I think
older folks-
after living in Antigua, she would have moved to Barbados. So everywhere she goes, she picks up on their native
Yes.
recipe.
Uh-huh.
So she moved to Barbados, and now she's
Okay.
making the Barbados coconut bread.
Oh, all this
That's
stuff she
become
does
her
as well?
staple.
Okay, all right.
So she,
Yeah.
wherever she goes and wherever she travels through her life, a recipe is in there from that
From that
from that
country.
segment. Yeah.
All right, okay. Okay, so how long it took you to get to have this book completed? It took you how long to prepare?
Well, when I say a long time, I keep on talking about my life, and I think they were taking notes.
They were recording.
Yes.
I think
So
they were
when
recording. Yeah.
it was coming up to my birthday, they decide we must get this book,
Yeah.
and so they pressured me,
Yes.
and I gave it to them.
All right.
Well, they had sections. They told me I have 5
Yeah.
children,
5 children. Okay. Okay.
and each one had a section.
Okay. With a section of the book.
And they had a slave driver. Her mother was a slave
Yes,
driver.
yes.
Yeah.
The big
That
boss.
is what they call her.
She's the one who, yeah.
Organize all the Zoom
Keep
calls.
pushing.
Yes.
So very early this morning, she contacted me.
Yes.
Anything you want
To
done,
remind you. Yeah. You're the boss. You're the boss.
just call her. Just say, gee,
Yeah.
so and so. Just give her
She's on
the
the job.
skeleton.
She's
Give her
on
the
it.
skeleton,
Yes.
and she puts on the
This
clothes.
morning.
I'm telling you.
This chat is this morning.
Right, okay.
Instructions.
So the issue of building a legacy on a foundation of love, lessons, and
6:37.
leadership. I mean, these are some deep topics. Really.
Well, that is why, listen, all my life, I've been helping people. All my life. And up to now, and sometimes I say I'm going to stop. I just can't stop.
You can't stop
I
because
just can't stop.
it's within you. You see,
And
that's what
sometimes I have to
came
hide
up.
from my family. I can't let them know what I'm
Yeah, you're doing because they want you not to do those things because but that's your nature to help people and that's the important thing too to help people as well. I mean,
So here's an interesting connection.
Yes.
So I had not seen the book until it was here. You know,
Yes.
physically touched the book.
Yes.
I saw parts of it before they came last week to Angola, and online, in WhatsApp chats and so forth. So I had not touched the book, but my PhD research was on Angolan creativity. We've talked about that here on
Yes.
your station and so forth. And her daughter, Doreen, who's the slave driver we talk about, she's the boss, she's the organizer. She said, so they interviewed me. I was part of an interview talking about the book and so forth, and I talked about when they talk about the things, it's pretty amazing, the connections, the same characteristics that I found in my research. Here is a lady who spent her whole life in Antigua.
Yes.
Just 3.5 years in Angola. But that came out in her story. Those same characteristics came out in her story. So it just goes to show the depth of the, the cultural connections to Angola and what makes us Angolan. And I think that was really amazing.
Yeah, and it's definitely multi-generational because I can definitely see parts of her in all of us. Maybe not in the same way, but we definitely, she's rubbed off on everybody.
But once you were raised by a grandmother, that's expected for you to be like a grandmother. Grandmothers have an impact on youngsters, on children coming up is profound, serious. And that's right across the Caribbean. Grandmothers, they have a heavy impact.
There's a backbone.
And let me tell you the importance of this. So I remember one of my participants was Patsy Adams.
Yes.
Sister Patsy. So she was raised by her grandmother. So Sister Patsy is in her 70s. Her grandmother, had she been alive today, would be 120, something like that. All right? So that means going back to the 1880s. I mean, about 1900, let's see. All right? So Sister Patsy would have her grandmother instilling all these things in her that she would have gotten from her grandmother. So we're talking now about she would have had the ability to tell me about things that happened in slavery days and just after emancipation. That is awesome.
Yes.
And so that's the reason why it's important that we have the books that is committed not just to memory, because memories fade and people pass away and the story goes with them. So it's really good and awesome that we have this book here and other books which are coming.
Other books that are coming up. So there are more books that are coming up?
She's planning volume 2. I don't know who.
Volume 2. Volume 2. Wow.
And I'm throwing it out there to whoever it is that's out there who's got stories. And all of us have stories. Every family has stories. And let's get the stories written down so that they can be shared and carried forward to the younger generations. Because
in America, Americans they write books every day. I mean, their books are a big thing in America, and books sell for sure. And but it's important to also collect the stories of your people as well. And this is the one show way of documenting in perpetuity the story of Grandma Marie. Marie here, because a very interesting life it is. One that came from Angola as a young child and living in Antigua, helps when the person, of course, there. And based on what I saw, a quick perusal of the book tells you that her life is a very interesting one. Her life story is a very interesting story indeed, very interesting story. So the book is entitled Loving, Leading, Legacy. It's Mirie'S Magic Recipe, and so it's edited by who's this person?
Our 2 children. So this one, Dorit is her mother, and then our Uncle Calvin.
So you edited the book?
Oh no, well, in spirit, but no, Dorit, my mom.
Okay.
She's the boss. That's the boss.
I wrote the cover.
Okay. Okay. So a bit about the design of the drawing. What inspired this? This type of art tells a story as well. Tell me about why you would have chosen this particular drawing to showcase Grandma
with the papa.
Yeah. So this was a picture that I believe my twin sibling took of Grandma, and so I had an assignment for class, and I really wanted to do portraits of family, and so they were also making the book at the same time, and so my mom was forcing me. She was like, "You have to do a painting of Grandma for the cover." And I was like, "Okay, sounds great." So I chose this picture of a moment where I feel like Grandma was just herself, and she just made this food, and she was so happy, and I feel like Grandma's smile is just so bright. It deserves to be on the cover. And the background I chose just because I feel like Grandma is so many different people. I feel like Grandma deserves a colorful. Grandma has such a colorful spirit. She may not be as bright as me, but she has a colorful spirit.
No, she's bright enough. She's bright enough. Even now, she's very bright enough. She's happy, nice
you can
lady.
feel her warmth, her joy.
Very warm, for sure. I can feel it from right here.
And she's great.
And she loves a papa.
Yes, she loves a papa.
Papa.
Look at her smiling right up.
So proud.
I think it was you had picked a big papa. You and your dad or something, so she was very proud of her papa that came off of her tree.
It was Felix and Mona. They had some papa juice. That was awesome. Yes. Yes. So this is really great, to have them here. And I talked about what she has done so far. So coming up, there's the book launch at Coral Reef Bookstore at 10 o'clock, 10 to 12 on Friday. So that's where the book is going to be, and you can go over there and purchase the
We're
books.
also related to them, I think.
And she's related, yes, we
We're
said.
related to the Reeds.
Yes.
Yes. And you can get your signed copy and so forth, and go early because, of course, there's a limited number of books that were brought here, right? She's going to they leave on Saturday, but even before the last thing she's going to do here is go. They're slaughtering a pig up in Welch's.
Oh yeah.
And that is an occasion because it's like a jollification.
Yeah,
It's a real fun time and so forth. So yeah, you guys are gonna get up very early on Saturday morning before you go.
I hope it's not one of the pigs you had me petting, because I have an emotional attachment to them now.
No, not that one.
Okay.
No,
We
it's-
actually see. Okay.
I hope I get piece of the head to take with me.
Oh,
What you want, Grandma Marie?
Piece of the head. I don't
You
like
have
flesh.
sauce? You love sauce? Oh, sauce too?
No, I jerk it.
You like sauce?
I jerk it.
Jerk it. Wow, jerk. Okay, that can.
Yes, a Jamaican taught me how to jerk,
Okay.
and I don't like fleshy.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see what you can get there.
Yeah, the head will be there. Piece of the head will be right with that. See, and you can prepare that the way you want. Prepare it. Okay. But a very interesting book. Also, again, the book launch will be held on this coming Thursday, sir.
Friday.
Friday.
At Carl Reed Bookstore.
Carl Reed
What
Bookstore.
time? What time?
10 a.m. to
10 a.m.?
12 noon.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the book will be sold at Carl Reed Bookstore.